Welcome to this episode of Threading Thoughts. A major environmental problem is caused by butts of trillions of cigarettes and cigarette like substances smoked worldwide. Tobacco product waste, in the form of cigarette BD waste, are often disposed of in open areas including streets, roads, drains, beaches, and landfills. Two-thirds of every smoked cigarette is discarded, and that is an estimated 340 to 680 million kilograms of waste tobacco that is littered across the globe. The average cigarette butt weighs 0.17 grams, almost amounting to an annual generation of approximately 17 million kilograms of tobacco product waste being disposed into the environment in India alone. In 2022, an estimated 253 million adults aged 15 years and older in India were tobacco product users. This presents a serious problem. How do we dispose the cigarettes safely? Naman Gupta is the founder and director at Code Effort Private Limited. He is an entrepreneur by choice, a nature lover by heart. Born in 1994 in Delhi and brought up in Noida by his lovely parents, Naman Gupta is a BCom graduate from Delhi University, currently pursuing MCom from IGNOU. He is a go-getter and a 3 times intellectual property rights holder. A TEDx speaker, Naman delivers guest sessions at top schools and colleges like IIT, IIM, Pathway School, and many more. Promising Social Leader 2022, Limca Book of Records, India Book of Records, International Book of Records, and Exclusive World Records are a few accolades for him. He lives by his HTP mantra: hard work, dedication, and patience to reach all his goals. With Core Effort Private Limited, he is creating a balance between the economy and the environment. More than 200 plus media publications by global media houses like Business Insider, History TV 18, NAS Daily, Press Trust of India, Reuters, WWF, and Z feature Naman, garnering 400 million plus views across social media. From the company's humble beginning to pan-India operations, Code Effort has seen tremendous success under him. Welcome to this episode of Threading Thoughts. I'm incredibly happy to be able to have Naman Gupta join us today. And we are going to talk about a sort of a unique, sustainable entrepreneurial idea, not widely seen or accepted perhaps in India, but it is gaining its momentum. And we need these eco warriors such as Naman and others to actually elucidate how it is that we can help in their efforts to clean up this environment, which eventually is going to benefit us. So, Naman, first of all, thank you so much. And I'm so excited to welcome you on board. And thank you for joining Threading Thoughts today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and giving me this opportunity to speak with you and your lovely audience.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to go straight out. I'm incredibly intrigued by what you're doing. Just the fact that, the why. We will come to the how later, but why did your focus even turn towards cigarettes and cigarette butts? And, why was there even an interest? Because I do know from our personal conversation that you're not a smoker. So why would you go towards something that is not in your ambit of habit? Or that you are not comfortable using as well. So the first is the why.
So, right, this is one of the most asked question in my journey so far. And why should be very strong if you want to build a successful business? That is what I believe. So if your why is strong, then you can build your how and when and
Absolutely.
everything. So in our case, we established Code Effort in the year 2018. So it's more than 5 years since we are in the cigarette waste management and recycling industry. And the why was simply because I misconcepted it as cotton, just like all other non-smokers and even smokers do. So just one day I was just walking past a road and a street where everywhere cigarette butts were lying. So I just thought of picking it up and seeing what kind of material it is. And after that, researching on the internet and social media about what exactly is the disposal or recycling uh, mechanism in India. because I come from non-smoking background, so uh, I am not promoting smoking, but have a keen interest in sustainability and environment and circular economy space. So that is why this waste caught my eye, and it took us around 6 to 8 months to develop a solution so that we can recycle this. And then once we had the clarity and certifications and uh, determination to solve this problem, then we formulated a legal entity and went out into the market and promoting our business.
And are there many in India who actually recycle cigarette? We have not heard much of it, at least. So, is there a large presence of recycling cigarettes in India? Because we have a huge number of smokers, and I'm sure you have the numbers at your fingertips. But given that there is such a large smoking population, is there other are there others also trying to work in this space actively?
Right. So when we started 5 years back in 2018, uh, at that time there were no recyclers existing in India. Plus, there were no specific laws and regulations for appropriate or disposal of cigarette butts or even recycling, because at that time cigarette butts were not classified as waste in any kind of policies. So this was a loophole, I can say. But outside India, there are a few companies who are dealing in this kind of
Right.
cigarette waste management and recycling industry. But I can simply say recyclers were not there, but cigarette butts were abundant
That's
in
true.
terms of waste. So that was that was the opportunity that we saw, and try to build an ecosystem where we can recycle them and come up with solution. But now, eventually, within these 5 years journey, now in 2022, Central Pollution Control Board and NGT, National Green Tribunal, have also started classifying the waste and have given guidelines to dispose the cigarette butts wisely or appropriately, and provide these materials to recyclers or startups who can use this for better and efficient applications. So
Right.
now the shift has come up.
No, that's very nice. And just given that you're working in a space that is still developing, what are some of the major challenges that you face?
I guess the biggest and still the most prevalent challenge is the awareness,
Right.
because awareness is not one time. If I tell you once that we are recycling, so after 3, 4 months maximum, if you have a very good memory, then you might be remembering that. But
Correct.
you need to create awareness, and you need to, uh, from initiative to movement stage, it takes a lot of time. Because we started as an initiative in just Delhi NCR region, 3 cities, but now we are present in more than 200 districts in India. We have a community of more than 2,500 rag pickers and a team of 100 plus rural women artisans whom we have already tied up and giving employment opportunities, empowering them, plus building our business. So once the awareness increases, and awareness will not just come from our community or from me or you, it will come from everyone.
Right.
Once everybody starts promoting this or even start creating awareness at their individual level, then definitely this problem is solvable, tackleable, and also can promote or boost the economy, as well as provide a circular economy model to sustain the ecosystem.
No, that's absolutely true. I think every single step of the ecosystem or the chain has to really understand this is important. But of course, I'm going to come back to it a little. But first, let me sort of get a little bit of information from you on. So we have a cigarette, and as a non-smoker, I'm not very aware. But what are the parts that you can actually use? I mean, is there a specific part that you can only use, and hence the remaining becomes waste? Or can it be completely recycled in different ways, and different ways of recycling, different parts of recycling as well?
Right. So, this is one of the things that we never thought of doing when we started. When we started, we just thought of recycling the filters, the cotton type cellulose
Correct.
acetate material that is inside. But once we started going into the market and seeing that out of the entire waste, for example, if we have collected 100 kgs, kilograms, so out of 100 kilograms, only 50 to 60% is the filter material, the fiber material. The rest is paper as well as little bit of leftover tobacco, because some people don't smoke the entire cigarettes.
Entire.
So
Mm.
yeah, so little bit. It's not much. Maximum hardly 1 or 1.5% from the total waste. But tobacco is also there. Plus, if we are giving the services to let's say an individual smoker or restaurants or bars or a commercial space, so there is a slight possibility that we can also generate the ash. Ash is basically the grayish material that is the residue from the smoke. Okay. So these are four components. The first one is the filter, close to 50-55%. 40%, close to 40% is the paper, the brown or white paper covering, and rest is tobacco and ash. So initially we were just focusing on filters, but once we realized that the material is of various components, we are getting all components. Then we started recycling all the materials, and now the system and the process that we have developed is ensuring that the entire model is utilizing 100% of the raw materials. Plus, it is not generating further waste. So the entire recycling process is completely carbon neutral and a closed loop recycling process.
Very nice, very nice. So there is no further waste from the waste, which is nice to
Right.
hear, right? And what are the different processes that you use though, in brief? Because each, I'm
So
sure,
the
require a different kind of a treatment and
correct. So I'll tell you all the processes. For example, if we are getting tobacco, so tobacco is a natural fertilizer because it's a plant. Okay. So we use this tobacco in converting into compost powder. So this is a 30-day process which we follow, and it's all aerobic. We don't use anaerobic process because tobacco has a little bit higher carbon content. So if it comes in contact with the water or the groundwater table or even the soil, so while you are composting the tobacco, if it's anaerobic under the soil, so the leachate is basically the uh, wet water that comes out
comes out.
as
Right.
residue while you're composting. So that leachate can actually damage the soil and degrade and cause infertility to the soil. So that is the reason we are following an aerobic process so that the leachate doesn't come in contact with the
Soil.
soil or the groundwater table. So from tobacco, we are converting it into compost powder. From the paper, when around 3-4 years back, we developed one product which was a mosquito repellent. So for mosquito repellents, we just convert the paper into pulp material and add some ingredients and essential oils so that it can repel the mosquito. One of the core values of our company is that we are a cruelty-free organization.
Right.
So we could have made a mosquito killer also, just like other brands are making mosquito killers. But we are not here to kill anybody or harm anybody. So that is the only reason we are making mosquito repellent. So if you're using our mosquito repellent, it will just repel the mosquito, and your environment or your space or your house, wherever you're using our mosquito repellent, will just be mosquito free.
Mm.
So this is one product. And 2 years back, around 2023, 2022, I guess, we made a handmade paper using the cigarette papers, which we are using to make packaging material, bags, envelopes, and basic office supply material. So
Nice.
this is the utilization of the paper. Plus, in paper that we are making, the handmade paper, we have even added some plantable seeds while making the paper, so that if you want to use the paper, and then after, instead of discarding the paper, you just break it down into small pieces and put it into a planter where it can come out and give you basil, marigold, daisy,
Oh,
carrots,
nice.
multiple variety of seeds we have added. So this is the utilization of the paper. Now coming to the third component, that is the filters. So this filter process is completely automated and done using proprietary chemical compositions, which is biodegradable as well as human and skin friendly. So once this automated process recycles the cigarette butts, Initially, we started using it as a stuffing. The recycled fibers were used as a stuffing inside cushions, keychains, and toys.
खाली टाइम बैठने से तो हम कुछ कर लेते हैं, ये काम करने से हमें कुछ सीख मिलती है। झंडे वगैरह बनाते हैं हम, और पतली बनाते हैं, जो अगर कोई सीखना चाहे सिखाते हैं। घर बैठे भी कर सकते हैं हम, यहाँ पे भी करते हैं। थोड़ा ये मन बढ़ जाता है, अपना कुछ खर्चा पानी अपने घर में, छोटे बच्चे हैं इनका भी खर्चा पानी निकल जाता है। अपने खाली खाली टाइम से तो हम कुछ कर लेंगे, उसमें ही हम अच्छा लगता है, ये है।
But after that, we saw the potential and further applications are possible for the recycled fibers. So 2 years back, we started making a textile. We first made a yarn from the fibers by blending it with cotton and various other synthetic materials. And then once the yarn was ready, then we converted it into a textile which is wearable.
Oh,
So
wow.
this textile we are supplying to brands and fashion designers and textile industry. Plus, most recently, we have also started making mannequins. Mannequins are basically completely 100% fiberglass. So we are planning to launch the mannequin so that we can give a sustainable mannequin to the industry, and this can be used as a display item and as a mascot for various brands and industry leaders. So these are the utilization, and we are ensuring that whatever raw material comes into our facility is 100% utilized and 0% waste comes out from the factory as another kind of it.
Very interesting. But one thing I'm sure you'd have, so for example, even if you take mannequins or paper, the durability is comparable to the materials that are currently used.
So in the paper industry, recycled paper is already an existing market.
Correct.
So handmade paper and recycled paper, there are a lot of people who specifically require these kinds of materials. So in this case, we didn't have to make an industry. We just have to introduce a new product. So what the paper that we have the testing. We do all the parameter testing in terms of strength, durability, tear factor, bursting factor. So that and even the print writing. Like if
Ah,
you're using a ball pen, so how the ball pen will react to it. Like if you are a very a constant writer, so while you are writing on paper, so there is a possibility that some sweat will come in your hand.
correct.
So that sweat should not break down the paper.
The paper,
It should
correct.
absorb it. Yeah. So plus the finesse in terms of smoothness. So it should be smooth enough to give you a feel that your flow of writing is good. If you're writing in print, it's compatible with all kinds of printers. Your domestic printer, offset, screen printing, any and every printer can print our paper. So this is about the paper industry. For mannequins, we have already done and even the textile, we do the testing first. If the testing is not satisfactory, or if our material doesn't pass, then we make the changes and then only bring out into the market. So whatever products or innovations or merchandise that we are making, it goes through a multiple layers of testing, lab testing, along with certifications, so that we are not just ensuring that the product is of quality material, but also safe to use. Because
Right.
safety is also a concern here, because it's coming from waste. So
Exactly.
we need to ourselves be sure that if the product is of good quality but not safe as per the health and the hygiene of the public, then it won't survive in the market. So we ensure that both the parameters are met in terms of quality as well as safety.
I was just about to actually ask you that because is there any residual chemical or smell concerns that the public has had or your the utilizers have had
I mean, that's a natural concern, right? I mean, because given the raw material are cigarettes, so is there some chemical residue because we'll be using it day to day? If you are so much not being a passive smoker, why would you want to expose yourself to those chemicals? Second, most recycled paper does have a distinctive smell, like cardboards that come. So is that something also? I'm sure you have thought of it, but if you could give us a few, ideas on that as well.
So, right. So, in terms of safety and all the protocols that we follow, lab testing is done for each and every batch through government approved labs. In terms of safety, because we are dealing with toys, the toys are BIS approved. That's a mandate by the government. So, one of them is BIS approval. The other one is because we are in the recycled merchandise industry. So, GRS is Global Recycled Standard, which is
Right,
a worldwide international body. So, we are GRS certified. Plus, we have ISOs also in terms of quality. That is 9001, ISO 9004 001 for quality. We have ISO 14001, that is for the environment safety. That the process that we follow for recycling is also environment friendly. That it is
correct.
not causing another waste and not creating hazard for the further application. Plus, we specifically have ISO 45001 for the employee safety. Because
Ah,
the people that we have are also getting in contact with the waste. So if they are handling the waste, so we need to ensure that their lives are also safe and they are given hygienic working conditions. So we have all these certifications. And another thing, what was the other thing that you asked?
no, just the chemicals and the any distinctive smell.
Chemicals, yes.
Yeah.
Smell, yes, for paper. So in our case, we try to remove all kinds of smells, not just in the paper, but in the fibers as well. But because recycled paper will have certain smell, so it is not uh, like cigarettes. It won't smell like cigarettes, but because it's coming from recycled paper, so little bit of earthy smell will be there
Right.
because we have added plant seeds. So the smell would be in the positive side, like it will not smell bad. It will smell like an earthy or a natural product. In fiber, it's blank. There's no smell,
No
no
smell.
chemicals, no effluents are there.
No, no,
Yes.
wonderful. And where do you access the science behind this recycling, right? Because this is relatively new. It is not something that you can do like a plug and play. It definitely involved a lot of research, R&D, and science. So where was your science access to it? And how scalable do you think this is? Given that you've been growing into these different fields and areas, how scalable do you think this is as a venture?
Right. So first, I'll answer your first question. The science behind is the brainchild of my brother. He's
Okay.
elder to me, and his name is Mr. Vipul Gupta, and he's the co-founder and director at Codefer. So I have an inclination towards entrepreneurship and business. So I look after the business and the operations part. My brother is the person who handles the infrastructure and R&D and building more researching on the new verticals that we can work. Why he has these capabilities is because he has a science background, he has technical backgrounds, plus he has specialized uh, in MBA for civil and infrastructure. So he
Okay.
has already been into this. Plus, while he was in 12th as well, so he was more, I can say, active, or he had good grades in chemistry only. So the chemicals and the recycling part is also his brainchild. I am actually the operations guy and the business guy.
Okay.
So that's how the science come up. But because while you are researching and you're building something from scratch, so even if I have a commerce background, but I also try my hands on various techniques and various mechanisms. I suggest sometimes that we could have done this. It might be more towards reducing the costings or optimizing the
True.
finance part, but through that, definitely, and it's a blend of science and commerce. So any technology needs both the angles, plus the art of negotiations and art of sales
Absolutely.
also need. So business is not just always science or commerce or arts. It's a blend of all activities. So you need to wear all kinds of hats. So when you start, not just in our business, in any business, if you're starting up, so you are the salesperson, you are the operations guy,
True.
you are the person who is filing GST returns and everything in and anything you're doing. So that's how it is. But yes, it is scalable because when we started, we were just doing 10 grams per day in terms of waste procurement.
Okay.
Now we have reached to 1500 kilograms per day.
Oh, wow.
So you see, just 10 grams, that was around 30, 40 cigarette butts. Now doing 50 lakh, 60 lakh cigarette butts daily. So we have seen the growth. And this is just 1% of the market that we have captured so far, just in India. So you imagine if this technology is given to other countries like Eastern, Western,
Correct.
Russian, because smoking is everywhere.
I
It's
know.
not just restricted to the Indian subcontinent. Smokers are there in India, in US, Europe, everywhere. And it's a legal commodity. Till the time cigarettes are not banned and people are consuming it, the problem of cigarette butts will be there.
Absolutely.
So even if you innovate and try to build up more materials in terms of biodegradable materials, but because it is a flammable material, so it has flame. So you need to add certain chemicals which are fire resistant. So I personally, I don't know if there's a fire resistant chemical which is biodegradable. So till
I
the
haven't
time,
heard of.
that is the reason companies are going smoke free. They are building e-cigarettes and
Correct. Correct.
electronic cigarettes. So that is the only reason. But that e-cigarette also has the filter there. The
Ah,
filter is still there. It's not just it is just the process has changed. The smoke is not coming while you are inhaling or smoking, but the the filter is still there in e-cigarettes.
have you tried
So
to use that as well? I mean, is that even a market that you've explored or thinking of
in
exploring?
India, e-cigarettes are banned.
Hmm.
So if somebody is using may possible that they might have procured it outside India
Correct.
and brought it in. But in India, I guess as per government, e-cigarettes are not allowed. It's a banned product.
Right.
So, but outside India, there's a scope. Plus, like I'm saying, uh, we are building more and more products. So we never thought that cigarette butts could be used in making textiles or paper or
Absolutely.
even mannequins. So, but
Absolutely.
once we research and try our hands on various mechanisms and techniques, we also get feedback. Plus, the customer feedback also plays a very vital role here because uh, the the making of textiles and yarns came from one of our customers
I see.
that they asked us that if you can try to make a yarn and try to come up with a textile made out of the fibers because it is fibers. So that is the reason we started researching and finding mills and people whom we can tie up with to make the yarns and textiles. So it's not every time that we have to think. It's also about the people who are willing to contribute and willing to support you either by feedback or by financial or monetary terms, or even by becoming our client and consumers.
No, absolutely.
So it's
And
definitely scalable.
oh, very nice. But yeah, talking about scalable, right now, you said that you have a huge labor force. How much do you see of it being automated, or is there a reason that you would like it to be automated in order to scale up? Is that something that is also in your horizon?
So automation is very much required to optimize the costs and efficiency and even the timelines. For example, if we want to fulfill a big order or something, so in that case, we need automation so that we can fulfill that, or else we won't be able to close that deal or fulfill that order. So in that case, the entire recycling process is automated. Just the toys and the handmade products that we are making, it's handmade because we intended to make it handmade so that we can empower the rural women artisans.
Mm,
So that gives them a livelihood opportunity. And handmade and recycled products also have a market. Recycled merchandise market might be increasing, but handmade products already has. Like in India, you have Delhi Heart, Hyderabad Heart,
Correct.
multiple hearts are there, and various events, exhibitions take up on a regular basis where you'll see handmade products, and people are shifting to handmade products because of automation, a lot of chemicals and a lot of process. What you call process the fibers and reduces the
Correct, correct.
nutrients and
There's a
the
lot more, yeah.
values. So yeah, so organic and handmade products are coming up in the market at a larger pace right now in India. So we want to stick to handmade products for some verticals, for example, toys and handicrafts and cushions. Textile is automated, it's not handmade. We need to spin the yarn, so
Correct.
it's 100% automated. And one of the process that we follow for separation, like disintegrating the cigarettes into three parts, paper, tobacco, and the fiber, it's currently manual. So we are
Mm.
making a machine to automate that so that because that is a huge cost for us. Because if we are procuring 1,000, 1,500 kgs per day, so we need to segregate that. So if
Absolutely.
it's not automated, so then it requires a lot of time to process, plus the cost is there. So we are trying to optimize and automate that particular process.
Absolutely. And looking at the future, um, what other products do you think, or at least are you exploring as of now? And the other thing is, of course, what is the, response from corporates and others? As a society, how can we actually pitch in, or what can we do? What is your request, or what is your, view of it?
Right. So mm, in terms of future plans, we are working on building an air purifier. That is one of the first product when we were thinking of making products 5 years back. At that time also we had a vision to make an air purifier because uh, if you see the characteristics and features of a filter, cigarette filter, the main feature or use of the filter is to absorb chemicals. So it's a very good absorber. Everybody knows that because before smoking it's completely white, after smoking it turns brownish
Right, right.
goldenish because it has absorbed a lot of tar, effluent, sulfur. More than 7,000 chemicals get trapped once you smoke, out of which a lot of are cancer causing and highly hazardous chemicals. So it's a very good absorber, and in air purifier you need absorbers. In the industry also, the membrane that you see is also the air purifier membrane or even the water purifier. So it's basically a fiber material.
You're right,
So
right.
we are trying to figure out a way where we can make a product in this particular industry. Plus, we could have also done plastic alternates such as foams, buttons, plastic pellets. But making these items also requires plastics. Because
Correct.
if you want to make a pellet or a comb, that will go through extrusion or this injection molding. So to blend that, you need to add a plasticizer. So that's just adding more plastics to
More
the environment.
plastic, correct.
So we we can do that, but we are not doing it. Eventually, if there's a specific requirement or actually the need, or once we end up with ideas and see what finally can be done, then we might figure out that. But yes, textile market is growing. Geotextiles and recycled textile
Correct.
market is absolutely growing. Every textile brand is switching to sustainable or recyclable or recycled raw materials. Paper industry is evergreen. You cannot let go not using paper. Paper will be there. It can be from recycled paper instead of cutting down trees and bringing
Right.
the tree paper. But tree-free paper or recycled paper was there, is there, and will remain. So these are evergreen industries. Apart from that, yes, gifting, people give a lot. In India, we are used to gifting
Correct.
uh, for any and every occasion, be it a birthday, anniversary, new employee joining, resigning. So gifting is itself a very big industry. So we also provide gift items. So we are a gifting partner for a lot of corporates. So this is how we plan to build and optimize on the recycled merchandise industry. Now, in terms of corporates, initially we didn't have any support. It was the public support that we have.
Right.
So, and I will thank and keep on thanking the individuals and the people who have come up and stayed with us so far in promoting us at their individual level, because it is the public and the people,
Correct.
the users, the end users, the clients, not corporate clients, the individual customers, that take the risk initially and test out the product and see and give their feedback.
Right.
Okay. So if the feedback is even negative, like if they see that the product is not as per their standards or as per their requirements, they tell us. So we improvise. So the journey and the state that we are into currently, uh, in terms of business growth, it's all from the public and the individual customers that we have uh, served so far. And these are the people who have given us testimonials and reviews, positive reviews or even negative reviews, to pitch to corporate clients.
Right.
We are a 90% B2B organization. We work with more than 35, 40 corporates. Some of them, we supply them with our waste management and pickup services. Some of the clients, we provide them with the recycled merchandise. So, n number of companies are there, international MNCs are there, Indian leading companies are there to whom we are providing them with recycled cushions, keychains, toys, textiles, uh, paper materials, for example, diaries, bags. So, all the products that we have, we make customized, we do the customization as per the requirements, sizes, prints, designs, and supply it to corporate clients. So, hoping to onboard a lot of more, we would like to onboard with a lot of corporate clients and provide them with a sustainable alternate and an efficient product, which is as durable and as good as a new product. Plus, the cost is more or less same. So you
Correct.
don't have to people have a thought that if it's coming from recycled material or if it's a sustainable alternate, then it might be costly.
Correct. Correct.
So,
That is, yes.
so that mindset needs to shift little bit, and people should try. Once they start using the material, then once the it's not just about me, other recycling companies and other sustainable materials also. Once people start using this, and once all our companies and the entire ecosystem starts getting recurring business, then the cost will reduce,
Cost related.
because
Correct.
we know that we have an existing client and we have recurring business. So it's a collective effort. For code effort also, code why we named code effort is because code stands for conserving our depleting environment.
Ah, I
Code
see.
effort might sound techy, but it has a meaning. So we are a collective effort. If you see the logo also, CE, it stands for collective effort. It's not just my individual effort. It's a
Absolutely.
collective effort of me, my team, you, as well as the clients who are supporting us and promoting us. So that's how it is.
That's absolutely lovely. Naman, I must thank you. There is just so much we can talk, but it's fascinating to hear this effort that's going on. I really hope more people come on board because, as you correctly said, smoking is universal, but recycling of smoke cigarette butts should be made universal as well. Hopefully, because then we have the circular economy that we can work with. And I can only wish you and your firm the best of luck, and hoping to hear more and see what else can come out of these unique recycling ideas. And thank you for your time and your patience and sharing, all your knowledge with everyone, because that I think is a first step towards bringing a collective effort. So, that itself is huge to say, come, let's combine together, and I'm going to share my time and knowledge. So I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for coming on Threading Thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you for your time and giving me this opportunity. And on the coming Earth Day, 22nd April, would request everyone to switch to sustainable alternates and try to reduce your consumption if you want, so that the lesser we consume, the more sustainable and more eco-friendly products can come into the market. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.